Hey, welcome. Have you ever just stopped and thought about all the science that's happening all around you? I mean, right now, it's literally everywhere. In the sunlight hitting your skin, the plants just outside your window, even the dirt under your shoes. Today, we're going to connect some of those dots and uncover this hidden, amazing world.
So, sunshine, a tiny little plant, and the ground. Seems kind of random, right? I mean, what could they possibly have in common? Well, what if I told you they're all tangled up in one incredible, non-stop cycle? That's what we're going to do today. We're going to follow the energy and see exactly how it all links together. Okay, first up, let's talk about light. Now, it's so much more than just, what lets us see. Think of it like the starting gun for pretty much every single process happening on our planet.
So, think for a second about all the different light sources out there. You've got the sun, obviously, the stars, maybe a street lamp outside. But can you think of one that's totally artificial? Something that nature just doesn't make on its own?
Yep, a flashlight. It's a perfect example. So simple, so effective, and 100% man-made. And this whole idea of creating light, well, that brings up a really important difference.
See, some things actually make their own light. We're talking about the sun, a firefly, even a simple light bulb. Those are what we call light sources. But then you have other stuff, like a mirror. A mirror only looks bright because it's bouncing light from somewhere else. Without a light source to shine on it, a mirror is, well, it's just a dark piece of glass. It's really the difference between making light and just borrowing it for a second.
And that light from the sun, it does way more than just light up our world. It literally powers life itself. Which, brings up a pretty big question. What does it actually mean for something to be alive? Let's break down the basic rules of life.
So, the big difference between living and non-living things, it really comes down to just a few simple rules. Living things, like a tree or a lion, they can take in energy, they can grow, they can move all on their own. But then, think about a car. Yeah, a car moves, for sure, but it can't grow, right? It doesn't breathe, and it definitely can't find its own gas. It's just a machine operating on a totally different set of rules. Okay, so let's zoom in on plants for a minute. They might look simple, but their survival depends on a really specific recipe. What do you think are the 3 things a plant absolutely has to have to live?
And there you have it. It's that simple and that powerful. Water, sunlight, and air. Take away any one of them, and plant life as we know it just wouldn't exist.
And this is so cool because it shows how a plant works like this perfect little machine. You've got the roots digging down to suck up water and nutrients from the soil, and at the same time, the leaves are acting like tiny solar panels, just soaking up sunlight and air to make energy. But if you take away any one of those pieces, especially the sunlight, the whole system just collapses. The leaves turn yellow, and that's it for the plant. It can't survive. Okay, so we just talked about how plants need to pull nutrients from the soil. Well, here's the thing. It turns out not all soil is the same. Not even close. The ground right under our feet is actually super diverse and, well, pretty specialized. This chart really breaks it down nicely. If you need soil that holds a ton of water, maybe for growing rice, you're going to want clay. On the other hand, if you need water to drain away super fast, like for a cactus, sand is your best friend. But for most of the plants you'd have in a garden, you want that just right Goldilocks soil, which is called loam. It holds enough moisture, but doesn't get all swampy. So what is the secret ingredient? The magic stuff that makes soil so packed with nutrients? It's this stuff called humus, and it's way more than just dirt. Think of it as nature's ultimate recycling program. It's all the good stuff that's left over when plants and animals break down. All those nutrients go right back into the earth, ready to feed new life. It really is the lifeblood of the soil.
All right, so we've looked at light, we've looked at life, and we've looked at soil, all as these separate things. But here's the big reveal. They're not separate at all. They are completely locked together in this constant, amazing cycle.
Let's just trace the whole thing, step by step. It all kicks off with the sun, right? It beams all this energy down to us. Then, plants grab that sunlight and use it to grow in the soil. Next, animals, and yeah, us too, we eat those plants to get our energy. And finally, when those plants and animals eventually die, they break down and create that rich humus we talked about. That humus makes the soil amazing, which lets new plants grow, and boom, the cycle starts all over again. And that's really the key takeaway here.
You just can't have one without the others. The sun, the plant, the soil, they're not separate things at all. They're more like 3 chapters in the exact same story, the story of how energy flows through our world.
So here's what I want you to do. The next time you're outside, I want you to look for this stuff. When you feel the sun on your face, or you see a plant growing, or you just notice the ground, remember, you're not just seeing one thing. You're actually seeing one piece of this huge, incredible connected system. The only question is, what part of that cycle are you going to notice first?